विल स्टार्ट। धवल भाई आप पढ़ना शुरू कीजिए।
हाँ जी। am I audible?
यस।
हाँ. There is no such thing as
यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल। यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल।
हाँ नाउ सॉरी वो गलती से बटन दब गया था. या
प्लीज रीस्टार्ट सर।
या there is no such thing as death, for it is the body that dies, and the body is not the man. That which really is cannot go out of existence, though it may change the forms through which it appears. Just as that which is non existent cannot come into being, the soul is and cannot cease to be. This opposition of is and is not, this balance of being and becoming, which is the mind's view of existence, finds its end in the realization of the soul as the one imperishable self by whom all this universe has been extended. Finite bodies have an end, but that which possesses and uses the body is infinite, illimitable, e- eternal, and indestructible. It casts away old and takes up new bodies as a man changes worn out raiment for new. And what is there in this to grieve at and recoil and shrink? This is not born, nor does it die, nor is it a thing that comes into being once and passing away will never come into being again. It is unborn, ancient, sempiternal. It is not slain with the slaying of the body. Who can slay the immortal spirit? Weapons cannot cleave it, nor the fire burn, nor do the waters drench it, nor the wind dry. Eternally stable, immobile, all pervading. It is forever and forever, not manifested like the body, but greater than all manifestation, not to be analyzed by the thought, but greater than all mind, not capable of change and modification like life and its organs and their objects, but beyond the changes of mind and life and body. It is yet the reality which all these strive to figure.
Yeah, थैंक यू। we'll just go through this paragraph in depth. Ritu ji has joined. Okay. The first sentence itself is so powerful. There is no such thing as death. डेथ नाम की कोई चीज नहीं है। मदर ऑल्सो इन द ऑन एजुकेशन वॉल्यूम she has a correspondence on this subject with the students. She's making them think. And in conclusion, she herself writes, in fact, there is no death. So, इसका कोई अस्तित्व नहीं, it's merely a changing of forms. Okay? There is no such thing as death, for it is the body that dies, and the body is not the man. अगर हम मैन वर्ड को लेके चलें, उसका जो संस्कृत है, द simplest Sanskrit that way, most common is Purusha. Okay. The word Purusha in Sanskrit means soul. उसका जो आध्यात्मिक अर्थ है. So there is a one-page essay by Sri Aurobindo called Man the Purusha, Essays Divine and Human, Volume 12 of CWSA. So, and therein he says that it is not a coincidence that the word that is used for the divine and the word that is used for the human being, the two words are the same, Purusha. Okay. So, the body is not the man. Sharira is not the, in that sense, the true being, the Purusha. Okay. It is the body that dies, and the body is not the man. We all know this through our sadhana, through the grace of the divine. It is something that we have to realize. Otherwise, it becomes, मतलब ठीक है, it has its value, no doubt. It becomes a preparation. But this has to be spiritually realized that I am the Atman. I am the Atman. And whatever sadhana one can take up for that as a basic practice, whatever, but one has to do something. चिंतन भी हो सकता है. Through intense concentration of thought on this, also it can be realized. But it has to be realized because it is drummed into our ears by the whole of Indian culture, but you know, makes no sense if we are not realizing it. Oh, Yogesh ji has joined. Okay. Okay. That which really is cannot go out of existence. Uh, I mean, I forgot to say that in the last class, we had covered from the point where Krishna, I should say Shri Bhagavan, sorry, um, starts his main teaching. We had covered around 5 verses, 2.11 to 2.15. Okay? Today we are beginning sort of from 2.16. ये वही है, that which really is cannot go out of existence. ना सतो विद्यते भावो, ना भावो विद्यते सतः. Very simple, almost childish truth. जो है सो है, जो नहीं है सो नहीं है. Right? Somebody says something to you, you are this, you are that. If I am like that, I am like that. If I am not like that, I am not like that. What is there to, be perturbed about that? As children, we say these things. Right? That's why divine God is the eternal child. Shri Aurobindo jo bolte hai na, though Adhyatma spirituality in that sense is very simple. It is just that we complicate our minds with sometimes too many ideas, concepts. Who has dropped off? Kalpana Sheth. Okay. Right? Otherwise, it's very simple that way. We just have to be natural and we'll automatically be in that. It's swastha. Just be natural, swastha, normal. Samadukha sukha swastha. Samaloshtasma kanchana. 14th chapter में आता है. That which really is cannot go out of existence, though it may change the forms through which it appears, just as that which is non-existent cannot come into being. न असतो विद्यते भावो. असत न असतः विद्यते भावः. असत माने जो नहीं है. यहाँ पे वो षष्ठी विभक्ति में होगा, षष्ठी एक वचन. असतः. असतः माने ऑफ द नॉन एग्जिस्टेंस. न असतः विद्यते. विद्यते मीन्स एग्जिस्टेंस होना. विद धातु का देर आर 5 मीनिंग्स. वन ऑफ द मीनिंग्स इज टू एग्जिस्ट. उससे आता है विद्यते. न असतः विद्यते भावो. भावो मीन्स टू बी. कोई भू भाव मीन्स बी और बिकमिंग. सो ऑफ द नॉन एग्जिस्टेंस, ऑफ द नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट, सॉरी, देर इज नो बी. Please send the Zoom link. 1 second. 1 second, sorry. Arish has sent. Okay. Okay. So, of the non-existent, na asatah vidyate bhavo. And reversing this thing, na abhavo vidyate satah. That which really is cannot go out of existence. Very, very deep, but very simple, but very fundamental verse. ठीक है. सुपरमाइंड के बारे में लोग डाउट करते हैं, कहीं कुछ हुआ नहीं हुआ 1950. सम पीपल डाउट. अरे भाई, हुआ है तो हुआ है, नहीं हुआ है तो नहीं हुआ है. इफ इट हैज हैपेंड यू कैन नॉट रिवर्स इट. शोबंदो मदर के अवतार उठ के बारे में समटाइम्स पीपल यू नो है कि नहीं है, कैसे मान ले. हिंदुइज्म में तो ऑल दैट. अगर है तो है. मदर सेड, मतलब आई वुड से थोड़ा सा झेप करके शी सेज दिस. That's my interpretation. कि even if the whole, if I am, मतलब अपने बारे में कहती है, if I am what people think me, if I am this, then the thinking of the whole world will not reverse it. And if I am not, then the thinking of the whole world will not make it. I'll share, मिल जाएगा, I'll have to find out, right? Very simple, but very, very profound verse and very practical. Hmm? That which really is cannot go out of existence, though it may change the forms through which it appears, just as that which is non-existent cannot come into being. जो है ही नहीं वो कहां से आ जाएगा, और जो है उसका अस्तित्व कोई कभी समाप्त नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है.
Anmol, this non-existence, what are you implying? Is that the mind-body complex when you say
Oh,
non-existent?
no, 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 no. Here in these 20 verses from 2.11 to 2.20, he is giving you the Atma Vidya. He's telling you about the eternal soul. So basically, he's saying that the soul is, and no matter what happens, its existence cannot be taken away from it. And in
I
that
get
sense,
that, but what is non-existent then?
you can say then the body mind complex. In that sense, if
Okay.
you want to see it, you can say, but it's in a more general sense. यहां पे बात है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल समद, ये था ना पिछले वाले में, आगमा पाई नो नित्याह. सो वट एवर इज टेम्पररी, बेसिकली वट एवर इज टेम्पररी इज नॉट एग्जिस्टेंट बिकॉज इट इज नॉट रियली देयर. अगर वो होगा
Correct.
तो हमेशा
Correct.
रहेगा, अगर वो नहीं है तो वो टेम्पररी रहेगा, वो हमेशा नहीं रहेगा.
Correct. Which is the mind-body complex, which is like a wave. It comes and in a
Yes.
period of time it
Yes,
disappears and we die,
yes,
right?
yes. And
Right.
changing, and I very important actually. So even in the most advanced things which are written about the supramental yoga, integral yoga. So Shiv Aurobindo and Mother are not saying that you will be, जो physical transformation की जब stage आ जाएगी, that you will be condemned to have the same body forever once the stage of physical immortality is reached. It's stupidity to think that way. You can change it at will. You can keep it as long as you like. Also, you can keep improving that body also. बट अगेन, जैसे लास्ट क्लास में क्लैरिफाई किया था, दैट इज अ वेरी अल्टीमेट स्टेज. उस बारे में बात करने का इट डजंट मेक मच सेंस. बट आई मीन, why then I'm not making sense, then why I'm talking about it? Because to clarify this, what does it mean? Because physical immortality के बारे में most people who read about Sri Aurobindo come to know about it somehow, right? So what is permanent? म्हणजे last time I said ना, नित्य नित्य वस्तु विवेक. What is नित्य and what is अनित्य? इस वस्तु का विवेक होना, डिस्टिंक्शन होना कि क्या नित्य है और क्या अनित्य है. ठीक है. इन दैट सेंस द सोल इज एंड कैन नॉट सीज टू बी. We are all souls and we cannot cease to be. Our existence may take different forms. Okay? We might exist as, in a merger state with the divine, where we are inactive and just keeping all our energy inside us as potential, not manifesting it, not expressing it, in some higher loka perhaps. Okay? We can be existing in the psychic world in between the births, wherein we are assimilating the experiences of our present birth, right? We can be existing as we are right now in this material world. But no matter what, the soul is and cannot cease to be. This should be understood very, very clearly. I mean, it's very basic. It's a very basics of Vedanta. दो
So
तीन वर्सेस हैं
Anmol
इसमें
bhai,
ऐसे. हाँ,
uh,
सॉरी. दो
so
तीन
basic.
वर्सेस हैं ऐसे इसमें which speak of the सनातनत्व. This is one of them. 2.16 जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं अभी. 2.12 है where it said this. 2.20 and 15.7. Yes, we'll come to you. So these are the four that come to mind right now. Those who want to note can note it. Dhaval bhai, tell me.
So uh, soul is in the Gita's terminology Atma, right? And
Yeah,
also the psychic being is the delegate of the soul,
yeah.
right? So just wanted to, so the it
गीता
is
में
a
साइकिक बीइंग का
simultaneous,
ज्यादा मेंशन नहीं है. हाँ, बोलिए.
it is a simultaneous poise, right? Psychic
Yeah.
being and soul are in a simultaneous poise.
Psychic being and soul are in a simultaneous poise. This
Because
is
if
also
soul
not
does
the
not
right way to put it. What it
uh,
is basically I mean, we are in the subject, but ये थोड़ा सा okay. So there is the Jivatman, which is an eternal portion of the eternal. Okay, that does not come down into the body. All this is there in Letters on Yoga One. I'll share the section link. Okay,
Hmm.
people can read it at leisure. That it sends a representative into the human manifestation. So the sentence from Sri Aurobindo is, it is above the manifestation in life and presides over it. This is behind the manifestation in life and supports it. Okay. So there is this entity, इसको सोल कहते हैं, सोल स्पार्क कहते हैं, साइकिक एंटिटी कहते हैं, सिंपली साइकिक कहते हैं, सीड सोल कहते हैं, स्पार्क सोल कहते हैं. All these different terminologies are there. That through the evolution it develops a psychic personality or a soul personality or a psychic being. They are, for all practical purposes, they are the same. Only thing is कि वो जो ऊपर वाली एंटिटी है वो कभी चेंज नहीं होती, इट इज एवर द सेम. Whereas वो जो अपना representative in the evolution भेजती है, that grows, and that grows in strength through this psychic being. And it is when the psychic being becomes strong, then the evolution of the soul turns Godward, initially gradually, and then finally completely and absolutely.
Yeah, so that means the soul, which always is there, is always existing, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, there is a simultaneous existence, the
They
poise.
are not separate. So even
They,
to use the word
abs-
simultaneous poise is, I mean, kind of a taking one step downward. They are same thing.
but
They
then
are
if
the same thing.
the delegate is sent,
Yes, yes.
so that is where the confusion is, no?
Yeah.
So if
Actually, वही है कि, see, there is this aspect of the self which does not change. Okay. अक्षरा जिसको कहते हैं, immutable. Hmm. So in our true being also, जिसको Sri Aurobindo central being कहते हैं, integral you, it's said to be above the head. It is realized above the head when the consciousness gets fixed above the head. All right. So it does not change. It is ever the same. I'm just seeing who else has joined. Okay, Archana ji has joined. All right. Hmm. But that which is ever the same in this evolutionary world where we are, for terrestrial world where we are evolving, it sends its representative that is called the soul. And that soul, which is like a seed, spark, and all that, that develops a psychic personality. It grows through the experiences of life. That soul is like a divine nucleus. Okay. वो भी unchanging है. That nucleus does not change. Around that nucleus, this psychic personality or soul personality or psychic being, it grows through the experiences of life after life, and that leads the evolution Godward. And ultimately, the thing within and the thing above, they fuse and merge into each other. That is what happens.
so
Is it clear?
basically, as you
Anmol, I'm confused. The psychic being, see, the psychic entity is the unchanging soul, I understand.
Yeah.
Now that you've brought in this term psychic being, is that the
Shall we
Shara
leave
then?
it to, I mean, I'll share the section because ये गीता के study को वो कर रहा है, तो maybe I can share the link, and those who want to study, next time we can discuss it perhaps. Or what
Okay,
should we
but
do?
it's not the mind body complex.
No,
I just
no,
have a
no, no,
simple
no, no,
question.
no, it's distinct from the mind body complex.
So psychic being is not the changing mind body complex.
No,
It
no,
is
no, no,
part of
no,
the
no, no,
soul
no, it is not
consciousness.
that. Mother says that
Okay.
psychic being, you have to identify in yourself that which is different from the mind, life, and body. It grows through the experiences of the mind, life, and body. Okay. माइंड के, लाइफ के और बॉडी के जो अनुभव होते हैं, उनका एसेंस, उनका रसास्वादन जो है, वो साइकिक बीइंग का खाना है. इट्स लाइक द नरिशमेंट ऑफ द साइकिक बीइंग. Through those experiences, it grows. That is why for the psychic being, everything is an experience. For the mind, life, and body, it is a positive or a negative experience. For the psychic being, it is pure experience. And through all experiences, it is capable of growing, and it grows through all experiences. Is that clear?
Okay, makes sense.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. हाँ. So, I mean, हाँ, because I want to keep the continuity of this. It's not that this is unrelated, but I think it is 3 दिन का time मिलेगा. I'll share the link because also, I mean, I have my own limitations. When I'll share the link to that Letters on Yoga volume वाला section ना, you read that ज़्यादा letter नहीं है, 2-3 है उसमें. When you read it in Sri Aurobindo's own words, आपको perfect clarity आ जाएगी. If I rephrase it in my words, कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा distortion हो सकता है. right? That is the
Agreed,
main reason
agreed.
why I am saying I'll share the link to that. Tell me, sir. Yes.
Done.
Anmol, I have a small suggestion. If you
Yes,
can.
sir.
There is no question of sir. Sir, nahi kuch.
हाँ बोलिए अरोड़ा जी. हाँ.
And soul and Atma and Jivatma, in the context of Gita,
Yeah.
psychic being, I don't know, psychic being as such as Sri Aurobindo has coined the word. It is not exactly what is being said in the Gita.
It is there in the Gita. यहाँ पे नहीं है. ठीक है.
My suggestion is you keep a separate session.
I'll clarify. I understood what you're saying. I think I
Keep a
understood.
separate session for
Okay. I take it. I might just add, I have read in the letters of Sri Aurobindo
must be
hundreds of times, para prakritir jiva bhuta. ठीक है? This is the Sanskrit for psychic being in the 7th chapter of the Gita. 7.456 ये 3 verses जो हैं, एतद योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणि इत्युपधारय. This is the womb of all existences. That womb is the para prakriti. Para prakriti meaning the higher nature. In the language of Tantra, the mother. ठीक है? It is the mother, the para prakriti, which becomes the jiva. para prakritir jiva bhuta. ठीक है? तो गीता के अंदर साइकिक बीइंग को ये दिस इज द फ्रेज विच इज, इट्स नॉट दैट इट इज नॉट देयर, बट यस, सेकंड चैप्टर के अंदर it is not the psychic being which is mentioned explicitly in the Gita. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirestatra na muhyati. That which transmigrates from body to body, that is obviously the psychic being. Again it comes in the 15th chapter, जो है वर्स नंबर 15.8 में आता है. बट जो श्री अरविंदो ने उसका नैरो डाउन करके दिया, दैट इज 15.8. परहैप्स आप मे बी, वही मैं कह रहा हूं ना कि जब मैं शेयर द लिंक, इफ इट इज नेसेसरी वी विल टेक अ सेपरेट सेशन ऑन दैट. यू आर राइट. Okay, chalo. So we'll continue. Yeah.
Yeah, give me half a minute. Give me half a minute, please.
Yes, still. हाँ तो बोलिए.
What I'm saying, what is described in this paragraph,
हाँ.
wherever the word soul is being used.
It is the eternity of the soul.
Does it?
Indestructible है.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is, does it apply to psychic being as it is or different?
Yes, it does.
No, is it the same or different?
माने मैं समझा नहीं. I didn't understand.
Whatever is described in this paragraph, that
Yes.
soul, non-existence. See, that the very fact that there is a distinction, at least mental, to understand the psychic being and soul. So there has to be some difference or some.
There is no real difference between the psychic being and the soul that way. Really, कोई difference नहीं है.
On one side we say that Sakshi.
Yeah.
And it's not involved. Other side we say it grows.
So that is not psychic being. That वही ना कि just as the divine is transcendent also and is participating and suffering himself in the creation also. Similarly, there is a portion of you which is transcendent, which is above this play. When you say Soham Asmi, I am he, that is all inclusive. ठीक है? So there is something in you which is above all this. And if you realize yourself as that and stay in that, then you will not be affected by the play at all. But if you have to participate in the play, then you have to identify yourself with the psychic being which is growing through this terrestrial play.
The moment I say there is some one or something which participates, and there is something which witnesses, are they two different entities?
They are two different poises of the same thing.
Okay, that's what somebody said it earlier.
हाँ वही वही poise कह लीजिए, same का वही शब्दों का फर्क है. It's mean we should understand, we should be clear that we are making sense to each other. Maybe I said it a little strongly कि अलग है. Because उसमें even ये कहना ना कि same poise है, वो भी ये हो जाता है कि यार ये तो उसका वो सेम पॉइज है, बट इट इज द सेम थिंग ओनली. देयर इज नो डिफरेंस. इवन जैसे हमने फॉर यस इंटेलेक्चुअल पर्पस वी कैन से दैट दे आर डिफरेंट थिंग्स. वो अलग अलग पॉइज है या सेम पॉइज है, लाइक दैट वी कैन से दिस इज फॉर इंटेलेक्चुअल पर्पस. फ्रॉम द स्पिरिचुअल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट्स द वन एंटिटी.
Anmol, just one point. The psychic being is really important in the way we proceed because the withdrawal from the engagement is not what Sri Aurobindo's essays of the Gita says.
Yeah.
So, what is the poise that is engaging and being the instrument of the divine?
Psychic being.
It has
Psychic
to be
being.
the psychic being then. It
Yes, it
cannot
is
be
the
the
psychic
psychic.
being. Yes, it is the psychic being. That is why Sri Aurobindo's emphasis in letter after letter is on the psychic being.
Right.
But
Because that is
for
the
the
one which will be
realization of
engaging.
the complete truth, okay, for the realization of the complete truth, you have to realize that central being also. You have to realize that you are that which is not, because if you are capable of being affected by something, then you cannot be totally free. And if you are not totally free, the freedom of the जो वो आनंद का अनुभूति है, that will not be perfect. So therefore,
Agreed.
both of them have to be realized.
But my point is, if you see Shankara's teachings, he says, look, you're the soul, you're the witnessing consciousness, the Sakshi, then you're not even wanting to engage. You feel, bhai, ab to mera bach gaya, main nikal aaya is chakkar se. The fact that you have to engage as a psychic being and make a difference to the community in a mind body complex and take that forward, knowing that you are the psychic being, knowing that you are the psychic
You are the
entity.
child of the
So
divine, yeah, the portion of the divine.
correct. So that is the biggest thing because otherwise you'll say, I want to be
Absolutely.
out. The Buddhist
Absolutely.
philosophy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is a problem which many Hindus face who are who are having a traditional background and all. They say, but the Gita says the soul is unchanging, and why is Sri Aurobindo saying that the psychic being is mutable? He's saying that it is growing. What is this thing which is growing? And the answer for that is that in the Rig Veda, वही तो इतना लंबा span में कोई देख नहीं पाता ना. So you have to be able to see things in their true span. So in the Rig Veda, the mention of the psychic being is there. In the Upanishads, it is there. But in the intervening period, it has got lost. The teaching of the psychic being itself got covered up. गीता के 4th chapter में जैसे आता है कि in the great passage of time, this yoga got lost. So I am giving you this yoga back again. Okay. Similarly, the proper क्या कहते हैं explanation and clearly बताना, it is the psychic being because of which the bhakti comes. Okay. Any
Correct.
spiritual person of any worth his salt will have a developed psychic being, but usko is tarah properly explain karna, that was not done. It was not done for very long period of time. It's not
Correct.
something
Because
new or original teaching of Shri. The word is coined by him, but the entity itself, the thing itself, इसको वो बोलते हैं लाइफ डिवाइन के एक चैप्टर में इनिशियल उसमें कोटेड है वत्से बशकये अधि समथिंग लाइक वत्स मींस चाइल्ड, ठीक है, like that. So it is there in the Veda, the mention is there. But this वही ना जो टीचिंग का वो जो था कि वो इवॉल्विंग सोल है, इट इज देयर इन सिंबल्स में छुपी हुई है. विष्णु पुराण में जो है कि वो कूर्म है, फिश है, देन टॉर्टॉइज है. So the idea of evolution is there. In the Tantra also the idea of evolution is there. But properly explaining it like this, I think it was a task reserved for Sri Aurobindo. And
right,
in
because
whole
see the
long
place that
interval
you
between the Upanishadic times and Sri Aurobindo, it was not really explained.
because Anmol, the place that you showed above the head where the psychic entity
It's not
is
the
there,
psychic
is there
above the
even
head.
for
The
all of
psychic is inside here, okay? The seat of the psychic is the heart.
the psychic entity is not above us, not above the head, the
Uh,
place you showed?
it's called, okay, let's be clear about the terms. Side session ka time ja raha hai, but it's okay. What is called above the head, Sri Aurobindo names it the central being, okay? Central being. The psychic entity and the psychic being, they are said to be in the heart. Let this be clear.
Okay, thanks. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'll just reread from the beginning. There is no such thing as death, for it is the body that dies, and the body is not the man. That which really is cannot go out of existence, though it may change the forms through which it appears, just as that which is non existent cannot come into being. The soul is and cannot cease to be. This opposition of is and is not, this balance of being and becoming, which is the mind's view of existence, finds its end in the realization of the soul as the one imperishable self by whom all this universe has been extended. In other words, of whom all this universe is the self extension. ये जो कुछ भी है ये उसका आत्मविस्तार है. It is he himself who has become all this that is. Hmm? Saparyagat. It is he who has gone abroad. It is he who has extended himself. This is the Isha Upanishad ka 8th verse. I'll just read the sentence again to see if it requires any explanation. This opposition of is and is not, Sat and Asat ka, this balance of being and becoming, bhava and abhava, okay, which is the mind's view of existence, finds its end. बिकॉज ये माइंड की प्रॉब्लम है कि वो है या नहीं है. ठीक है. जो रियलिटी है इन दैट दिस प्रॉब्लम डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. इट इज द माइंड विच इज हैविंग दिस डिफिकल्टी. द ट्रूथ एग्जिस्ट फॉर एवर, बट द ट्रूथ इज above mind. In order to realize the truth, we have to go above mind. This is what this portion means. All right. Yes. Finds its end in the realization of the soul as the one imperishable self by whom all this universe has been extended. ये जो फ्रेज है, by whom all this universe has been extended, येना सर्वम इदम ततम, this comes 3 times in the Gita. Once in the second, I'll share, it's easy, मैं ढूंढ करके दे दूंगा इसमें से, but just mentioning that there are some phrases which come more than once, and given the economy of the scripture, only 700 verses, if even a quarter of a phrase, even a quarter of a verse, sorry, is coming more than once, it means it is very significant. स्वधर्मे निधनम श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावह, दिस कम्स ट्वाइस. ओके. वो है मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी माम नमस्कुरु, दैट कम्स ट्वाइस. येन सर्वम इदम ततम, इट कम्स थ्राइस. सो लाइक दिस, आई मीन, इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो कि ये वाला फ्रेज मल्टीपल टाइम्स क्यों आ रहा है. इट हेल्प्स टू understand the meaning that is trying to be conveyed by the text. All right.
This sentence
Finite.
is, sorry,
Sorry.
this sentence beginning with this opposition
Yes.
is very, very significant,
Yes.
because it is with this it becomes clear that the problem of being and becoming, or is or not is the arena of mind.
Exactly.
The moment you go beyond mind, this does not exist.
Exactly. You're
But the
saying the same
counter,
thing in, आप
no,
वही बोल रहे हैं जो मैं बोल रहा था. एग्जैक्टली ये माइंड की ही प्रॉब्लम है. जब तक हम माइंड में ड्वेल कर रहे हैं, केवल तब तक ये इशू है होने या ना होने का, बीइंग एंड बिकमिंग है या नहीं है, एग्जिस्टेंस नॉन एग्जिस्टेंस है या नहीं है. इट्स द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट, वही जो मैंने पहले भी एक इंग्लिश का, अ प्रॉब्लम कैन नॉट बी सॉल्व एट द लेवल एट विच इट इज क्रिएटेड. यू हैव टू राइज अबव इट. दिस इज एट्रीब्यूटेड टू एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन, जिसका भी वो डजंट मैटर, बट इट्स ट्रू. तो यू नो आवर लाइफ इज अ पैराडॉक्स विद गॉड फॉर की, एंड गॉड इज नॉट मेंटल, गॉड इज बियॉन्ड माइंड. तो जब तक आप उस स्पिरिट को प्राप्त नहीं कर लोगे, जब तक आपको वो आध्यात्मिक चेतना की प्राप्ति नहीं हो जाएगी, तब तक ये नहीं समझ में आए. और एक बार उसकी प्राप्ति हो गई तो इट इज सेल्फ एक्सप्लेन्ड. इट इज देयर इज नो नीड फॉर दैट कॉन्शियसनेस. इट इज अ दिस इज द पैराडॉक्स ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ, दैट अंटिल यू गेट देयर यू रिमेन इन अ कंफ्यूजन.
to mind it looks contradictory.
Exactly.
To
To the mind, it looks contradictory. But we are not the mind. That's what we are trying to
No.
say all the time. We are not the mind. The Gita is telling us you are not the mind. एक जो
We
श्लोक
are-
आता है ना 3rd chapter के एंड में, हाँ जी बोलिए.
we are not the mind alone.
We are not the mind. आप essentially बोलेंगे हाँ, we are not the, we are also the mind. Sri Aurobindo speaks of perfecting the mind. If we say we are not the mind, we will ignore the mind. We are the mind. दृष्टि पे डिपेंड करता है. मैं फिर बता रहा हूं, मैं फिर लास्ट टाइम मैंने बोला था, माइंड को संस्कृत में क्या बोलते हैं? अंतःकरण. ओके. मन बुद्धि चित्त अहंकार, इट इज पार्ट ऑफ द अंतःकरण. अंतःकरण का इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन क्या है? इनर इंस्ट्रूमेंट. नाउ दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर पॉइज ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस. आपकी कॉन्शियसनेस कहां टिकी हुई है? अगर आपकी कॉन्शियसनेस एकदम एक्सटर्नल कॉन्शियसनेस में है, देन यू आर द बॉडी, नॉट इवन द माइंड, यू आर द बॉडी. आप बाह्य करना है. बट अगर वो थोड़ा भीतर है तो आप माइंड है. अगर वो बिल्कुल डीप चली गई है तो देन यू रियलाइज कि ये मेरे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं, ये मैं नहीं.
That's why till I am in life, mind, body, death is there.
Exactly.
Till I am there, the
Exactly.
death is there.
Exactly.
How can you say it's not there? It is
Exactly.
transient. It is transient. It's not permanent, but it is there.
Yes, it is there.
In his own language, it is there.
Yes, it is there. But he also teaches the way to go out of it.
correct. No, I'm not arguing your
नहीं नहीं, मैं
against.
वो नहीं कह रहा। 5:24 आते आते या इस चैप्टर का एंड आते आते वो ब्राह्मी स्थिति डिक्लेयर कर देगा। एषा ब्राह्मी स्थिति पार्थ, जिसका दूसरे शब्दों में अर्थ ये है कि बाय द एंड ऑफ द सेकंड चैप्टर हम उसको फॉलो करें, वी शुड रीच द ब्राह्मी स्थिति। दैट इज द एक्सपेक्टेशन फ्रॉम लॉर्ड कृष्णा, श्री भगवान। ओके। And that is the power in the Gita. I would even venture to say कि if somebody merely repeats these verses keeping the meaning in mind, the japa of the second chapter, उसको वो ब्राह्मी स्थिति रियलाइज हो जाएगी। ये संस्कृत ऐसे ही नहीं है, उसको देवा भाषा यूं ही नहीं बोलते हैं। देयर इज a reason why it is called the देवा भाषा, it has come direct from the divine, राइट। मैंने आज ही वो ग्रुप पे डाला था, रेपिटेशन ऑफ गीता वर्सेस एज अ जपा। उनके अंदर वो पावर निहित है कि उसके जप से, और गीता से यज्ञा नाम जप यज्ञ उसमें, among sacrifices I am sacrifice of japa. These are all very powerful spiritual practices, uh, like that. So एक ही बस इसमें एग्जांपल देने वाला था, by whom all this universe has been extended। उपनिषद के अंदर एक जो एग्जांपल दिया जाता है, इट इज ऑफ द स्पाइडर एंड इट्स बॉडी। यथा ऊर्णनाभिः सृजते गृह्णते च, मुंडक उपनिषद वर्स नंबर 6। So just as the body of the spider is nothing but the extension, so just as, sorry गलत बोला, just as the web is nothing but the extension of the body of the spider, वो उसके सलाइवा से निकलता है। okay, similarly it's given as an example, यथोर्णनाभिः सृजते गृह्णते च, यथा पृथिव्याम औषधयः संभवन्ति, यथा सतः पुरुषात् केशलोमानि, तथा क्षरात् संभवति विश्वम्। So just as the web comes out of the body of the spider, okay, वो उसको अपने अंदर से सृजन करता है। सृजन डज नॉट मीन क्रिएट, ओके। सृजन मीन्स क्या बोलेंगे उसको, एक्सटेंड करना। सृज का मतलब होता है एक्सटेंड, सृष्टि। द वर्ड इटसेल्फ सृष्टि मीन्स एक्सटेंशन, इसीलिए वो कह रहे गृह्णते च, मतलब आत्मविस्तार और फिर आत्म संवरण। दीज आर द वर्ड्स। और जो बाकी का वर्ड्स है, दैट्स नॉट सो एक्सप्लेनेटरी, इट्स जस्ट दैट स्पाइडर पार्ट। सो बाय होम ऑल दिस यूनिवर्स हैज बीन एक्सटेंडेड इन द गीता's लैंग्वेज, येन सर्वम इदम ततम। येन मीन्स बाय विच, सर्वम मीन्स ऑल, इदम मीन्स दिस, ततम मीन्स एक्सटेंडेड। by whom all this is extended। For those who might be finding the pace a little slow, मैंने पिछले से पिछले सेशन में ही कहा था कि now that we are getting into the verses, it might get very slow, it might appear terribly slow, so please bear with it। These things are not to be done in a fast way। कहते हैं, the traditional people say that one thorough study of the Gita, it requires 14 years। We will not take 14 years to complete this book, but it takes time। It can take lifetime।
Anmol bhai, I don't think so. Any of us think that way. I'm
No,
not
no, no,
sure,
no. I'm
but
just saying.
uh,
See, modern mind, na, everything is there at the click of a link and everything. So
no,
some
no, no,
people say
no.
like tend to losing patience. I am
This
myself, not a very, very patient person. So maybe I'm addressing myself only. So just saying. Okay, now moving ahead. Finite bodies have an end. Okay. Antavanta ime deha. 2.18. First quarter. Antavanta ime deha. Ime means these. Deha means bodies. Antavanta means they have an end. So, finite bodies have an end. But that which possesses and uses the body is infinite, illimitable, eternal, indestructible. Antavanta ime deha nityah। नित्यः, नित्यः का ट्रांसलेशन होता है इटर्नल। उक्ताः, उक्ताः मीन्स इट इज सेट टू बी। शरीरिणः, शरीरिणः is the plural of sharirin। Sharirin means the soul, sharira means the body, sharirin प्रथमा विभक्ति में होगा शरीरी। इसका मुझे धातु नहीं याद आ रहा है क्या था, बट देह, शरीर, तनु, all these are different words in the Gita for the body। Okay, so शरीरिणः means souls। प्रथमा बहुवचन है ये। ओके, नॉमिनेटिव केस प्लूरल। नित्यः उक्ताः शरीरिणः। अनाशिनः, indestructible. अप्रमेयस्य, अप्रमेय का लिटरली मीनिंग होता है इमेजरेबल, हाँ इमेजरेबल।
Measurable or not to be proved?
इनकंपेरेबल भी होता है वैसे, हाँ।
Not to be proved.
कांट हियर यू सर।
Not to be proved.
नहीं,
Proved.
नॉट टू बी प्रूव नहीं होता, अप्रमेय मीन्स इमेजरेबल। आई विल टेल यू, मा धातु होती है, म के ऊपर आ की मात्रा, विच मीन्स टू मेजर, उससे वर्ड आता है माया, ठीक है। और जैसे जना धातु है विच मीन्स टू नो, उससे बनता है ज्ञेय। सिमिलरली मा से बनता है मेय। सो ज्ञेय मीन्स व्हाट, दैट विच इज टू बी नोन, ठीक है, जो जान सकते हैं। सिमिलरली मा से बना मेय, इट मीन्स दैट विच कैन बी मेजर्ड। ओके, सो अप्रमेय मीन्स इमेजरेबल, जो मेजर नहीं किया जा सकता। लिटरली दैट इज व्हाट अप्रमेय मीन्स। इज दैट क्लियर?
No, it's okay.
या, सो हाँ, बॉडी इनफाइनाइट, इनलिमिटेबल, इटर्नल, इंडिस्ट्रक्टिबल। इटर्नल के लिए द वर्ड इज नित्य, इंडिस्ट्रक्टिबल द वर्ड इज अनाशिनः। अप्रमेयस्य, अप्रमेयस्य के लिए यहां वर्ड है इनलिमिटेबल, ओके, उसको मेजर नहीं कर सकते, वो इनलिमिटेबल है, दैट इज द वर्ड। इनफाइनाइट, इनफाइनाइट के लिए भी यहां कोई वर्ड होगा ऐसा। अविनाशी तो तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततम, 2.17 में था, विनाशम अव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित कर्तुम अर्हति, दैट इज 2.17, राइट? सो at the end what we'll do is we'll just say these verses in Sanskrit at around, let's say, 8 o'clock, sorry, 9 o'clock. So we'll end with that Sanskrit. Oh, kind of, it will be a good way to end the session. It casts away old and takes up new bodies as a man changes worn out raiment for new. And what is there in this to grieve at and recoil and shrink? This is the famous shloka 2.22. Vasansi जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति, गृह्णाति मतलब ग्रहण करना, नरोपराणि, तथा शरीरानि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. Even the mother quoted this shloka once to a disciple. I remember reading that. But just once more, it अलग अलग तरीके से जो उन्होंने एक्सप्लेन किया है, ओके। एक तो जैसे मैंने लास्ट टाइम बताया था, देहिनोस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारम यौवनम जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति ही धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति, 2.13. हाउ इज ही डूइंग इट? सो कौमारम, यौवनम, जरा, अगर हम इनको स्टेज 1, स्टेज 2, स्टेज 3 माने, तस्मान देहांतर प्राप्ति ही, देहांतर माने देह का बदलना, सो इट्स लाइक फोर्थ, तो उन्होंने सीक्वेंस बना दिया. सी द ब्यूटी ऑफ द टीचर, हाउ ही इज एक्सप्लेनिंग टू यू. अगेन नाउ ही इज गिविंग अ डिफरेंट एग्जांपल, कि जैसे कपड़े फट जाते हैं तो हम दूसरे कपड़े पहन लेते हैं, सिमिलरली जब बॉडी फट जाती है, जब बॉडी पुरानी हो जाती है, तो हम नई बॉडी पहन लेते हैं. इसमें क्या नई बात है? श्री अरविंदो एक एग्जांपल देते हैं कि व्हेन यू लीव द बॉडी एंड यू हैव नॉट गॉन आउट ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस, ही सेज जस्ट एज you go to a different climate and wear clothes to suit that climate. Similarly, so you are no longer in the physical world. You are either in the subtle physical world or in the vital world or in the mental world. So according to that world, you are donning the cloth of that world. Subtle physical body, vital body, mental body, that's it. आप इंग्लैंड जाएंगे तो ओवरकोट पहनेंगे, isn't it? इंडिया में थोड़ी पहनेंगे. Same thing. That is the example which Sri Aurobindo also gives in his letters. Okay. So, Vasansi Jirnani, that is the verse 2.22 tha. Yeah.
Anmol, I have a small submission to make here.
Please do.
When it said it casts away old and takes up new bodies, and traditionally we Indians have been thinking that there is a location in the body where the soul exists, as you said, head or the heart. But actually, it is Mother has said it, that it is the soul which contains the body, not the reverse.
That has to be realized. वो जब when we become commensurate with the universe, वो जो सेकंड स्टेज होता है सेल्फ का, when you think that you are in the self, वो उस केस में होता है.
No, even traditionally when we say, no, 1 minute, because traditionally for last 50 years or 70 years, I've been hearing that he has given up the body. Sharir chhod diya. वो मतलब आत्मा ने शरीर छोड़ दिया. व्हाट डज इट मीन दैट इट वाज होल्डिंग इट, इट
जैसे
वाज.
आप, मैं बताता हूँ, सावित्री का एक सेंटेंस है, द इमनेंट लिव्स इन मैन एज इन हिज हाउस, ठीक है। अब आप इमनेंट को अंडरस्टैंड योर सेल्फ एज द इमनेंट। आप इमनेंट हो, ये मत कहो कि इमनेंट भगवान है, डोंट डू दिस द्वैता देन, ठीक है। एकमेव द्वितीयम ब्रह्म अहम ब्रह्मास्मि, ओके। आई एम द इमनेंट, आई एम dwelling in this body. When I leave this body, then I will say that I have left this body. उस सेंस में है। यू आर इनहैबिटिंग दिस बॉडी जस्ट एज अ मैन इनहैबिट्स हिज हाउस। आप अपने घर में रह रहे हो, आप अपने घर का त्याग करके चले जाओ। सिमिलरली ये शरीर आपका घर है, और जब आप इसका त्याग करके चले जाते हो, इट इज इन दैट सेंस।
ओके,
गॉट इट?
ऑलराइट,
द
थैंक यू.
इमिनेंट लिव्स इन मैन एज इन हिज हाउस। दिस इज द लाइन इन सावित्री।
गो अहेड, गो अहेड. सॉरी.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, व्हाट इज इट? इनफैक्ट बिकॉज ऑफ यू एक और एग्जांपल आया, आई हैव हर्ड इट इन टॉक्स ऑफ आलोकदा, कि स्वामी विवेकानंदा, when he left his body, so for the next whatever, people were grieving and all, so he appeared to one of the disciples and he said, I have spat out my body. वो आप वाला जो बोल रहे थे ना, कि वो इतने विशाल हो गए अपनी चेतना में, कि उनकी चेतना के अंदर द बॉडी इज अ मियर स्पेक, जो उनको परेशान कर रहा है। हिज बॉडी हैड बिकम वेरी जीर्ण बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल हिज ट्रेवल्स ना। ढंग से खाना नहीं मिला, डायबिटीज हो गया था, पता नहीं क्या क्या हो गया था बाय द एज ऑफ 39। सो द बॉडी हैड बिकम वेरी वोर्न आउट, सो दैट्स व्हाई ही सेड आई हैव स्पैट आउट माय बॉडी। दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर अ ग्रेट विभूति लाइक दैट, जिन्होंने वो रियलाइजेशन प्राप्त कर लिया। So it depends on how developed you are at the time of leaving your body. Okay? So
Thank
it
you.
casts away old, it casts away old and takes up new bodies. As a man changes worn out raiment for new, and what is there in this to grieve at and recoil and shrink? Okay. This is not born, nor does it die, nor is it a thing that comes into being once and passing away will never come into being again. This is exact translation of verse number 2.20. Just want to say here, जैसे पिछला वाला था, that is 2.22. And this one is 2.20. So Sri Aurobindo does cover those related verses, but in the traditional manner of the commentators and all this, he does not go sometimes in the sequence. Most of the time he will go in the sequential fashion. Sometimes he does not go. Okay. So one has to be a little flexible. And therefore it also helps if you are somewhat familiar with the text of the Gita. Otherwise, आप अगर गीता को और essays on the गीता को साथ में लेके मतलब कोरिलेट कर रहे हैं, you can be a little frustrated कि यार ये आगे पीछे क्यों जा रहे हैं इतना. But the reason for that is actually the amount of energy that is just flowing through him. वो कोई अपने मन से सोच करके थोड़ी लिख रहे हैं. जो रेगुलर कमेंटेटर होगा वो सोच सोच के ये वर्ड्स का ये ट्रांसलेशन टक 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 ऐसे करके लेगा. Sri Aurobindo is working from a different energy plane altogether. That is why it's just flowing. He's just sitting before the, कल मेरे को आर्या पब्लिश करना है, आज या एक दो दिन पहले वो बस टाइपराइटर में बैठ रहे हैं, ठक 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 ठक, दो 64 pages are coming out. Okay, so one has to understand the process through which he is writing this book also. It will help to understand the book, right? So just a small point. Now, this is not born. न जायते 2.20 के पहले दो words. This is not born. This is us. We are not born. अजर, अनबॉर्न. जब जन्म ही नहीं हुआ तो मृत्यु के, अच्छा फिर कहेंगे जन्म कैसे नहीं हुआ? जन्म की परिभाषा क्या होती है? जन्म की परिभाषा है when we attach ourselves to this body, then we are said to be born. Otherwise, our true nature, our true reality, all of us are unborn. न जायते. Nor does it die. म्रियते वा कदाचित. कदाचित इज फॉर एम्फेसिस. जब जन्म ही नहीं लिया तो मरेगा कहां से? न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित. एक बार जस्ट मैं वर्ड्स बोल देता हूं. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित, नायम भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः, अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो, न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Nor is it a thing that comes into being once. न अयम माने दिस, भूत्वा कम इन टू बींग, भूतवा मतलब भूतकाल था, एंड पासिंग अवे विल नेवर कम इन टू बींग अगेन। न अयम भूत्वा भविता, भविता माने फ्यूचर में, वा न भूयः, भूयः मीन्स अगेन। ओके, सो दिस इज नॉट बॉर्न, nor does it die, nor is it a thing that comes into being once and passing away will never come into being again. It is unborn, ajo, ancient, puranah, sempiternal, nityah. Sempiternal means, अगर उसमें रूट्स में जाएंगे, सेम्पर, SEMPER, वो लैटिन ग्रीक मुझे कभी याद नहीं रहता कौन सा क्या है, एंड eternus, AETERNUS. Semper means always, so it somehow even to even stress the eternity more, always eternal. There is an eternity in time and there is an eternity beyond time. इसको ऐसे बोलते हैं, right? Eternity in time का मतलब, the terms are contradictory. When you're saying eternity in time, what does it mean? So it is so long that it looks eternal. देवताओं की, ब्रह्मा की जो आयु है, इट्स लाइक इटर्नल इन टाइम, वो इतना इतना ज्यादा लंबा है, इट्स लाइक नित्य, दैट वे, राइट? सो अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोयम, शाश्वतः। इनफैक्ट द वर्ड शाश्वत, उसके लिए श्री अरविंदो वर्ड यूज करते हैं सेम्पिटर्नल। आई एम सेइंग दिस बिकॉज ईशोपनिषद के 8th वर्स में इट कम्स शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः, देयर ही यूजेस द वर्ड सेम्पिटर्नल, सेम वर्ड ही इज यूजिंग हियर सेम्पिटर्नल as the word shashvata is coming in verse 2.20, right? Nitya के लिए the word is eternal, as I said earlier. So अजो, गीता is saying the same thing twice, नित्य भी है और शाश्वत भी है. There must be a fine this thing, line by fine this thing, distinction why it is using the two words again and again. संपत जी, the संपदानंद मिश्रा जिनके थ्रू हमने संस्कृत वगैरह सीखी है पांडिचेरी में, he says there are 4 words for this: नित्य, शाश्वत, चिरंतन and sanatana. So Nitya, eternal, Shashvata, sempiternal, always eternal. Chirantana means everlasting. वो टाइम के सेंस में, चिरंजीवी भव, चिरंतन, एवरलास्टिंग, एंड सनातन, ये वर्ड भी गीता में आता है, ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातन 15.7, वही। ऑल दीज हैव डेफिनेटली, अगर अलग वर्ड है तो डिफरेंट शेड ऑफ मीनिंग होगा. दिस विल बी रिवील्ड ओनली बाय मेडिटेशन. आई मीन आई डोंट नो राइट नाउ व्हाई इट इज लाइक दिस, right? So this is not born, nor does it die, nor it is unborn, ancient, sempiternal. It is not slain with the slaying of the body. No hanyate, hanyamane sharire. Hanyate means slain. Yeah. Who can slay the immortal spirit? Who can slay the immortal spirit? Weapons cannot cleave it, nor the fire burn it. Sorry, nor the fire burn, nor do the waters drench it, nor the wind dry. Again, one of the relatively well-known shlokas of the Gita, 2.23. Very powerful, should be memorized, I feel. Nayanam chindanti shastrani, nayanam dahati pavakah, na chainam kledayantyapo, na shoshayati marutah. न एनम छिंदंती शस्त्राणि. छिंदंती मीन्स पियर्स, शस्त्राणि वेपन्स पियर्स इट नॉट. नैनम छिंदंती शस्त्राणि. न एनम दहति पावकः. एनम इज अ प्रोनाउन व्हिच मीन्स दिस, ओके. न एनम दहति पावकः. फायर इज पावक, द प्योरीफायर. फायर के लिए देयर आर सेवरल नेम्स, मुझे याद नहीं है. वाटर के लिए संपत जी है सेट देयर आर अराउंड 30 नेम्स. फायर के लिए भी काफी सारे होंगे. So many are there. Jatavedas, Agni, Pavaka, so many are there, right? Here the word that is used is Pavaka. Nayanam dahati, it removes the impurities. ना गोल्ड के अंदर भी जो होता है impurities, उसको आप burn करते हैं, then the gold shines out, right? Nayanam dahati pavakah. Dahati means to burn. Nacha enam kledayanti apah. For wetting the word is kledayanti. Apah means waters. न क्लेद, न चैनम क्लेदयन्त्यापो, संधि में आपो हो गया है. न शोषयति मारुतः. Shoshayati means to dry. Marutah means the wind. Marut se aata hai, right? Nor the wind dry. Eternally stable, immobile, all pervading. It is forever and forever. Sri Aurobindo could have written it is forever and ever. He puts another for there in between. All this is not deliberate in the sense of not mentally put. ये सब ऊपर से आया हुआ है. It is forever and forever. Even that extra for before the second ever is significant. I mean, इसके लिए the Sanskrit is 1 minute. Stable, eternally stable के लिए the word is स्थाणु 2.24 में. Immobile के लिए the word is achala. All pervading, sarvagatah. अच्छेद्योयम अदाह्योयम अक्लेद्यो अशोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुः अचलोयम सनातनः. Again, nityah and sanatanah. Both are coming again. Yeah. Eternally stable, immobile, all pervading. It is forever and forever. Maybe that is why. Nityah sanatanah. Not manifested like the body, but greater than all manifestation. Not to be analyzed by the thought. I'll go word by word. So, not manifested like the body. Avyaktoyam 2.25. व्यक्त की हमने क्या परिभाषा बताई थी? What did we learn last time? मैनिफेस्ट का इंग्लिश आप डिक्शनरी देखेंगे. मैनिफेस्ट मीन्स apparent, जो आपके सामने है, अपीयरेंस है. ठीक है. अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्त मध्यानि भारत, वी हैड कोटेड लास्ट टाइम. सो नॉट मैनिफेस्टेड लाइक द बॉडी. बॉडी इज देयर इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, दिख रही है, विजिबल. विजिबल का जो व है और व्यक्ता का जो व है, व मीन्स मैनिफेस्ट एग्जिस्टेंस. वॉल्यूम 14 ऑफ श्री अरविंदो, पेज नंबर 601. वहां पे द मीनिंग्स ऑफ ऑल वॉवल्स एंड कॉन्सोनेंट्स आर देयर. ओके, आई विल शेयर दैट टेबल. इट इज नेसेसरी. हम संस्कृत में इतना डीप में जाएंगे तो वो टेबल माइंड में रखनी पड़ेगी फॉर सीरियस स्टूडेंट, राइट? सो नॉट मैनिफेस्टेड लाइक द बॉडी. अव्यक्तोयम, इट इज अव्यक्त. इट इज व्यक्तिंग थ्रू द बॉडी. इट इज मैनिफेस्टिंग थ्रू द बॉडी. ओके, अगर बॉडी नहीं हो तो वो व्यक्त नहीं होगी, वो दिखेगी नहीं. व्यक्त का मतलब है जो दिख रहा है सामने. ठीक है. अव्यक्तोयम, बट ग्रेटर देन ऑल मैनिफेस्टेशन, नॉट टू बी एनालाइज्ड बाय द थॉट. अचिंत्योयम, वो चिंतन के बियॉन्ड है. केन उपनिषद कहता है न तत्र वाग गच्छति नो मनो न विद्मो न विजानीमो. सो इट इज केना, इसके पहले ऑब्वियसली अचिंत्योयम. वी कैनॉट थिंक आउट द रियलिटी, वी कैनॉट थिंक आउट द सेल्फ, वी कैनॉट थिंक आउट द सोल. थ्रू द practice of yoga, we can become that. We can recover that consciousness. But we cannot, if we think that through our thought we can catch hold of it, it won't happen. Thought is a limited consciousness by definition, and that consciousness is infinite by definition. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Right? So, not to be analyzed by the thought, but greater than all mind, not capable of change and modification like the life and its organs and their objects. अविकारयोयम, अविकार्यः. इसमें विकार आ ही नहीं सकता. विकार का मतलब होता है चेंज. नॉट केपेबल ऑफ चेंज एंड मॉडिफिकेशन. केपेबल ही नहीं है चेंज का. चाहे तो भी नहीं बदल सकता. ऐसा नहीं है, मतलब चाहे तो बदल सकता है, बदलता है, आता है और वर्ल्ड में सारा प्ले करता है, या सेल्फ ही तो करता है. बट उसका जो असली पॉइज है उसके अंदर नॉट केपेबल ऑफ चेंज, अविकार्यः. Okay? Not capable of change and modification like the life and its organs and their objects, but beyond the changes of mind and life and body, it is yet the reality which all these strive to figure. So we'll just go through the sentence once more and then close with the chanting of these verses, unless there are some questions. Not manifested like the body, but greater than all manifestation. So it does not mean that if it is unmanifested, then it is something inferior to manifestation. It is greater than all manifestation. Hmm? Not to be analyzed by the thought, but greater than all mind. अगर वो माइंड का विषय नहीं है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो माइंड से इंफीरियर है, वो माइंड से सुपीरियर है. ठीक है. Not capable of change and modification like the life and its organs and their objects, but beyond the changes of mind and life and body. वही जो आ रहा था ना कि वो माइंड एंड लाइफ एंड बॉडी के बियॉन्ड है, उनके चेंजेस के बियॉन्ड है. It is yet the reality, capital R, which all these strive to figure. ये सब उसके सेल्फ फिगरिंग्स हैं. दे आर स्ट्राइविंग टू फिगर दैट रियलिटी. वो यत्न कर रहे हैं उस वास्तविकता को, उस रियलिटी को फिगर करने का, उसको एक रूप देने का. ये दे आर स्ट्राइविंग, स्ट्राइव मतलब एफर्ट कर रहे हैं, दम लग रहा है उनको, डिफिकल्टी हो रही है करने में. दैट इज व्हाट द होल लाइफ इज अबाउट, स्ट्राइविंग टू फिगर दैट रियलिटी. The each and every word what he's writing here, it is so dense and profound, you can just literally pause on every word and meditate on that word. So we've just been able to cover one paragraph today. Right? 9.3. So what should we do? Any questions?
Anmol, before we get into the
yes,
verses,
yes.
I just had one question. See, there is tremendous clarity on what the soul consciousness is that you've explained over the last 1 hour. The the fact that it decides to manifest. And as we said, the manifestation also has a priority and an importance, right? Now, what is the link between the manifest and the soul consciousness? कुछ तो इनका जोड़ है ना?
That is the
वो
psychic
जोड़
being, no? That is the psychic being. The link is the psychic being. The link is the psychic being. That consciousness जो ये सारा डिस्क्राइब किया है यहाँ पे, अविकार्योयम. अब साइकिक बीइंग के बारे में तो क्लियरली कहा जाता है कि इट ग्रोज. ग्रो का मतलब चेंज हो रहा है, और यहाँ पे लिखा है नॉट केपेबल ऑफ चेंज. सो दिस इज दैट ट्रू बीइंग, दैट सेंट्रल बीइंग. बट थ्रू द लिंक बिटवीन दैट एंड दिस इज द साइकिक बीइंग.
Okay. Do share the verses that you said in the Gita 7th chapter. You said of the psychic being. Do share that. I think we need a bit more reading on it.
7.5 and 7.6.
हाँ, वो प्लीज जरूर शेयर करना, तो थोड़ा पढ़ के अगले क्लास से पहले विल बी बेटर.
From the verses themselves you will not get so much clarity. You will get clarity from the section in the letters on yoga, where Sri Aurobindo distinguishes between the three terms, between the central being, the psychic entity, and the psychic being.
Maybe Anmol bhai, we can take a detour.
Do share that as well, please.
That is the main sharing. हाँ, वो देखेंगे. For that, if we need to take a session, we'll take a session on this.
I think it's better to have that clarity before proceeding further.
I agree with you.
Because वो haziness रहता है, तो
maybe
फिर
next
मजा
time
नहीं
then
आता
in
है.
the next session we can read those letters itself instead of reading this text, if everybody is agreed with that.
So what
Good
we
idea.
can do is, please
That's
paste
what-
the
What does
links.
everybody else say? There are like
That's what
Five,
I
six
was
other people
suggesting.
yes sir.
Initially, I did suggest that you have a session only on Chaitya Purush, or psychic being and soul, and so that
What we will do is I have
one session, just
समझ गया. हाँ,
irrespective whether it is from this book or from any other.
ठीक है. Some people जो आ रहे हैं वो, I mean they don't even know the word psychic being, उनको पहली बार सुनने को मिल रहा है. एक दो लोग ऐसे हैं, तो फिर
Okay.
इसीलिए मैंने नहीं किया था. आई थॉट गीता तो सबको पता होती है. नेक्स्ट टाइम
No,
हम कर
actually-
लेंगे. इट्स वन
actually-
लेटर, वील रीड दैट. उसको पढ़ने से समझ में आ जाएगा.
If may I suggest, you send the links, we will read, and then you
Exactly.
discuss those
मैंने
letters.
पहले यही कहा था कि मैं वो लिंक भेज देता हूँ इन द 3 days इंटरवीनिंग, मंडे टू
हाँ.
फ्राइडे के बीच में. वो पढ़ लेते हैं, और जो उसमें क्वेश्चंस होंगे वी कैन डिस्कस नेक्स्ट टाइम.
Not only questions वो explain करिए, फिर questions आएंगे अपने आप.
तो फिर
Because
अगले
what
सेशन के
happens
बिगनिंग
is,
में हम उसको पढ़ लेते हैं. ऐसा कर लेते हैं.
हाँ, जैसे अभी पढ़ रहे गीता जी वैसे ही करेंगे, ठीक है. This is what I am feeling, कि we will read,
Agreed.
then
Agreed.
reread with you, like what we are doing here.
Agreed.
And the thing is, what happens is, when in the flow, when you discuss these terms, psychic being and all, automatically ये question वहीं से आ जाते हैं.
Obviously.
वो context इसलिए बन जाता है.
Undeniably. To get clarity on this takes a little doing. One has to
नहीं, वो तब तक मजा भी नहीं
spend
आता
some
है।
mental energy on this.
नहीं नहीं, तब तक वो ग्रास, जब तक वो ग्रहण नहीं होता ना, तब तक यू कैन नॉट एंजॉय द डेप्थ्स ऑफ द टेक्स्ट, इसके लिए। या
Should
थैंक
we
यू।
chant some of the verses that have been read today, or should we close because it's already overshot by 3-4 minutes?
प्लीज चैंट।
Okay.
Let's chant the verses.
So I'll be chanting from 2.16 to 2.25. Okay, these कितने हैं, 9 या 10 verses. All right. Please bring a copy of गीता, आप रख लीजिए, क्योंकि स्क्रीन पे दिखाने से वो इतना स्लो स्लो करने से नहीं हो पाएगा। ठीक है।
2.15, right? You said
16. 2.16 to 2.25.
yeah. 1 minute. I'll open the app only. So yeah. So should we all sing along, or what do you plan?
I don't know. If it is best if we sing along.
'Cause,
एक second, I'll show it on the screen then.
it's better to sing along.
1 minute. अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं। 1 minute सर। 2.60 सिंगिंग में टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा। 1 minute. This website is also very slow.
I have opened up the app, so if all can open up the app or something.
Losing time for nothing basically. Let's just start chanting together. श्री भगवान उवाच नाततो
तो
विद्यते
विद्यते
भावो
भावो,
नाभावो
वो
विद्यते
विद्यते
ततः उभयोरपि
उभयोर्
दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित्
कर्तुम्
कर्तुमर्हति
अर्हति।
अन्तवन्त इमे
इमे
देहा
देह नित्यस्य
नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
शरीरिणः
अनाशिनो
अनाशिनो
अप्रमेयस्य
अमेयस्
तस्मात् युध्यस्व
युद्धा
भारत
भारत
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम्
हन्तारम् न च
यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ
उभौ
तौ न
तौ
विजानीतो
नायं
नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
हन्मः।
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकम् वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो अशोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्माद् एवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुम् अर्हसि। Thank you, everybody. Good night.